Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Again, thank you for all those viewers that have been asking me when I'm posting my next video. I truly appreciate. I'm so glad that a lot of people are enjoying these videos as much as I'm enjoying making them. Little by little, this channel is growing, and I'm super thankful for all of you that's been participating in the channel. A few of you that's always been there, and I appreciate very much. You guys know who you are. Again, thanks again. Now, let's see what I got for you right now. We got for you 143 scale. It's a 1977, if I'm not mistaken. Let's check. Yep, 1977 Renault 20 TS. Now, this beautiful example is made by Norev. It's not an easy example to find. I'm not gonna lie, the Renault 20, it's not like the Dacia counterpart. You find the Dacia a lot more because D'Agostini made the Dacia and it was a lot cheaper and they were out there. This one, it was a little bit more harder to find, but it's a beautiful example. Really good looking. Now, let me explain to you a little bit more about the Renault 20 if you're not familiar with it. Basically, the Renault 20 was the top of the line back in the days for Renault. Between the Renault 20 and the Renault 30, they were made between 1975 until 1984. Now, the Renault 20 also competed with the Renault 25. I think both of them were like the top of the line. Some people say even though the 25, they usually the higher the number, the more upscale. I don't know. I think the Renault 20, and basically if we're gonna talk about numbers, the Renault 30 is even higher. And literally the Renault 30 to me, it's just a Renault 20 with a different headlights because the 30 has round headlights in the front and probably different engine, but I'm not fully sure. Now, let's go back to this. By the way, the Renault 20 was made until 1970. It was made between 1976 and 1983. The one that I gave you before, the dates before was for the Renault 30. But the Renault 20 is between 1976 and 1983. Lovely car. I think it was very attractive. Like I mentioned just before, even Dacia built them as their own model for. It was called the Dacia 2000. They didn't sell much back in those days in Romania because Romania was not. It was basically built more for like higher end executives and politicians, people that can afford it. They got for the people on the road. They had the lower end Renault 12, which was more like it was a Dacia 1300, if I'm not mistaken. That's the one that was more for the public out there. But going back to this example, we have the French one right now. We got the Renault. This example right here by Norev, it's so good looking. Even the rear defroster lines are there, guys. When you see those details, I love it. I truly love it. You know, it's even the wheels are the same way they made them in real life. The I'm not sure if the hubcaps or rims, but really good quality, very detailed. They really took the time to make sure the car looked exactly how they looked in real life. Even the color, I remember the few Renault 20s that I seen, I didn't see many of them. I see a few of them. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, and someone can confirm, the Renault 20 was mostly sold in Europe. They did sell a few of them in Latin America, but not many of them. Not many of them. It was mostly in the European market. Again, it was an executive car. You know, when they exported these Renaults and Fiat and Citroëns and Peugeots, they usually exported to countries that did not have their economy as set as the European economy. You know, Latin America, North African countries like Algeria and Tunisia, Libya. You know, their economies, like the Latin American economies, were building up, so they couldn't afford these type of cars. They were more into the lower end models. But gorgeous. What there's no other words to say. I love this model. I really do. All right, guys. I'm gonna go around a few times. You can have a nice look at it, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. So I'm back. What do you guys think about these cars? Do you remember seeing them on the road? Have you ever drove one of these? Or you're like me, like I mentioned before, we collect the diecast or resin models, and this is the only one that we get to find. Either we don't see them on the roads. Unfortunately, I even seen like on YouTube car shows, like classic car shows from Europe, and I didn't see many Renault 20s. I'm not sure if it's not old enough for it to be in a car show yet, but I think it's already a 45-year-old car. I think it's more than enough to be qualified for a classic. I mean, how old you want a classic to be? If it's a car that you haven't seen in a production for over 40 years, then I think it's more than welcome to be qualified as a classic, to my understanding. Okay, guys. So don't forget to give me a nice thumbs up. I really, really appreciate. Don't forget to click and subscribe, and do not forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button. And comment in the videos what you want to see. Do you like the car? Let me know, and I'll sure answer you sooner or later. I'm taking the time to answer most of you guys, or all of you guys, as long as it's not being a disrespectful comment or something that it doesn't, is irrelevant to what we're talking about. All right, guys. So take care and goodbye.